I'm not teaching, I am publicly learning. But I'm welcome to Learning for Life in UK test part 426. While doing a bit standing yoga, and if you participate in the standing yoga, that's the challenge. Now, our plan is now, we are through with the whole book, to go through the whole book once more and look if you have it all. So, it starts with the values and principles of UK, and we wanted to remember 5 and 5. So, 5 values and principles. We said democracy, the rule of law, individual liberty, tolerance of those with different faith and belief, and participation in community life. Now, partly understand what we mean with participation in community life. We had here the whole chapter with here, the UK government, the law, and your role. Respecting the law, yes, that is the part of the rule of law. But what is participation in community life? Now, one could say something like, yes, of the values and responsibilities, that is similar to the other thing there, to obey and respect the law, to be aware of rights of others and respect for rights, to treat others with fairness, to behave responsibly, to help and protect your family, to respect and reserve your environment, to treat everyone equally, to work to provide for yourself and your family, to help others to vote in local and national government elections, and to be a good neighbor. And you can prevent any problems and conflicts with your neighbors by respecting their privacy and limiting how much noise you make. There we have it, the Holy Grail to peace in the world. Respecting their privacy and limiting how much noise is made. Getting to know your neighbors can help you to become part of a community and make friends. Your neighbors are also a good source of help. For example, they may be willing to feed your pets if you are away, or offer advice on local shops and services. How you can support your community. When we said something about jury service, where we are not sure if it is, but then it would be a duty. And also helping in schools is possible by school governors. When people can support political parties or help with local services, for example, the police can be helped. People can become special constable representatives. People can donate their blood and their organs after that. And people can work with animals in animal rescue shelters. They can work for volunteering at a youth group. They can help to improve the environment. They can go around and take rubbish, or in the first place not throw it into the area. And people can work in homeless shelters. They can do mentoring for people who just came out of prison. They can work in information desks and so on. They can help other elderly people in residential care homes. They can work for Cancer Research UK against cruelty to children, or crisis and shelter for homeless people, or People's Dispensary for sick animals for animals, or also the National Trust, 66,000 people. And people can try to not make unnecessary waste and rubbish. And if it's possible to go by foot or to use public transport or drive a bike. And now around that it would be then meant with participation in community life. Oh, here. As part of a citizenship ceremony, new citizens pledge to uphold these values. The pledge is, so the people making 2 pledges. One, the affirmation pledge, and the other one, the oath of allegiance, the affirmation of allegiance, the oath of allegiance, one of the two. The one is with God mentioning, the other one with basically all what is say. And here, one of these pledges is when some people have to make 2. I will give my loyalty to the United Kingdom and respect its rights and freedoms. I will uphold its democratic values. I will observe its laws faithfully and fulfill my duties and obligations as a British citizen. Okay. Then we're having here other things: respect and obey the law, which is the rule of law. Respect the rights of others and their opinions, treat others with fairness, look after yourself and your family. And the UK has freedom of belief and religion, freedom of speech, freedom from unfair discrimination, a right to a fair trial, and a right to join in the election of a government, just to name a few. Now we had here respect others and their opinions, treat others with kindness, and look after yourself. So 1 point, just look after yourself and your family. People can become a permanent resident. You will need to speak and read English, have a good understanding of life in the UK. Which means you will need to pass the life in the UK test. And had we read that? No, we had not read that. Because it was part of a test and not of a part of a learning. No, I started it, I'm going to go through it. Produce acceptable evidence of speaking and listening skills in English at B1 of a common European framework of reference. This is equivalent to ESOL entry level 3. You can demonstrate your knowledge of English by having a recognized English test qualification from an approved test center. For further details on how to demonstrate evidence of your required level of speaking and listening skills in English, please visit the Home Office website. It is possible that the requirements may change in the future. You should check the information on the Home Office website for current requirements before applying for settlement or citizenship. So what was it? That is a big printed and 3 uppercase letters. Produce acceptable evidence of speaking and listening skills in English at B1 of Common European Framework of Reference. This is equivalent to ESOL entry level 3. You can demonstrate your knowledge of English by having a recognized English test qualification. So everything demonstrated there and producing evidence is a piece of paper you handle in. In other words, you're not producing anything there or demonstrating anything there. You have to do it sometime else. It's included, but you're not doing anything there. You're not producing any evidence and you're not demonstrating any evidence. So it's not about what you do, but what's written on the paper. Yes, but this is checked whereas others at another time. For further details on how to demonstrate evidence of your required level of speaking and listening skills in English, please visit the Home Office website. It's not a test in English. Is it not enough? Now, do we read on? We will read on because we started it now fast. Taking the life in UK test. Maybe we're going to do it again in detail, but I'm just going to read it now fast. It's not part of the learning, but it's part of the test. So we are in a way in the bonus material. This handbook will help prepare you for taking the life in the UK test. The test consists of 24 questions about important aspects of life in the UK. Questions are based on all parts of the handbook, but you will not need to remember dates of birth or death. The 24 questions will be different for each person taking the test at the test session. The life in the UK test is usually taken in English, although special arrangement can be made if you wish to take it in Welsh or Scottish Gaelic. You can only take the test at a registered and approved Life in the UK test centre. There are over 30 test centres in the UK. You can only book your test online at gov.uk/life-in-the-UK-test. You should not take your test at any other establishment as the Home Office will only accept certificates from registered test centres. If you live on the Isle of Man or the Channel Islands, there are different arrangements for taking the Life in the UK test. When booking your test, read the instructions carefully. Make sure you enter your details correctly. You will need to take some identification proof of your address with you to the test. If you don't take these, you will not be able to take the test. How to use this handbook. Everything that you will need to know to pass the Life in the UK test is included in this handbook. The questions will be based on the whole book, including this introduction. Why? This introduction, chapter 2. No, it wasn't. See, this guide has many parts and features, but the sections that you must focus on are the official study materials, chapter 2 to 6. But I think the meaning of the fundamental values and principles and not how to take the test, but it's not tested in the test. The questions will be based on the whole book, including this introduction, so make sure you study the entire book thoroughly. The handbook has been written to ensure that anyone who can read English ESOL entry level 3 or above should have no difficulty with the language. The glossary at the back of the handbook contains some keywords or phrases which you might find helpful. The check that you understand boxes are for guidance. They will help you to identify particular things that you should understand. Just knowing the things highlighted in these boxes will not be enough to pass the test. You need to make sure that you understand everything in the book, so please read the information carefully. Now we should understand it. I said around 50 times something about. This is not enough to understand the things. Where to find more information? You can find out more information from the following places. It's enough to understand what is written in this book, but not to understand what is here explained in the book. You can find out more at the Home Office website, gov.uk/browse-visors-immigration/settle-in-well-UK. for information about the application process and the forms you will need. Check to understand. Really, we have to actually understand it all. Live UK test website, gov, live UK test and gov. The other thing, the origins, values underlying British society, the fundamental principles of British life, the responsibilities and freedoms which come to permanent residence, the process of becoming a permanent resident and citizen. We will do that in the next part. Now to the standing level. And you participate with the city on risk. We are doing the eagle swings. We're having the feet staying together and we're breathing in and lifting the arms up. And we're breathing out, we're bringing the arms in. And again, in and out the arms up. And out the arms down. And we're breathing in, lifting the arms up. And we're breathing out, we're leaning back and you're opening the chest to the sky. Again in, arms up, and out the second time, the crab in the morning. Now breathe in, lift the arms up, close the hands. And breathe out and lean back, the feet in the wind. Breathe again in into the middle. And out in the second time back. And breathe in into the middle. Now breathe in and open the arms to one side. Breathe in, come up again. Out to the other side. Breathe in into the middle. Out again to the side. In, up. And out, going into the chair. In and up. And out to the side. In and up. Out to the chair. In and up. And out, down diving dolphin. Doing the movement, bend the right leg and stretch on the left leg. Breathe in and change. And out, stretch on the right leg. Breathe again in and change. Out, stretch left leg. Again in and change. And out, stretch on the right leg. Breathe again in, both legs straight. And breathe in, open the right arm to the sky. Bend the left knee and look over the right shoulder to the right hand, the penguin. Breathe again in and bring the arm again in. And breathe out, both legs straight. Breathe in, open the left hand to the sky, bend the right knee and look over the left shoulder to the left hand. Breathe again in and bring the arm again down. And out and down. Now a table shift counterweight. Make a hand of space between the feet. Bring the weights to the heels. And breathe in and go down. And out again up. And in and again down. It is the pelican. And out and up. And the last time, in and down. And out and up. Now we're doing the triple shift counterweight. Hold onto the elbows and gently swing from side to side. And both hands down and close the feet again. Now we're breathing in and coming half up with a straight back, monkey half lift. And out and again down. And again in halfway up with a straight back. And out and again down. And again in halfway up. And out and down. And now we're breathing in and we're doing the up diving swan. We're bringing the hands to touch and we're lowering the hands slowly down to heart center. We're breathing out. And when it was a short Stay yoga. I thank you very much, and until next time.